evening, everybody. Chris and Tiffany here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to this week's live. We are back after a week's hiatus, after a wonderful mistake made on my part where I completely got our weeks mixed up.
It's okay.
But we're here. We are live. We have lots and lots and lots to talk about because a lot has happened in cruising here in the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
This is part where you read the comments.
Lily's here. Good afternoon, Chris, Tiffany, and all. Sheikah's here.
All right, we'll give everybody a moment to hop in, say hi, and start going over all of the stuff we got to go over this week. Because, I saw a story today that really kind of chaps my backside.
Nelly's here. Hi, everyone. The intro music. I am now
Hyped. And she's wearing glasses.
I need new ones. These are 2 years old.
Yeah, I thought we needed some good, hyping, pump up, rock and roll type intro music to get us going for the lives, bring the excitement, bring the joy. And of course, as you guys can see, we are in the Halloween spirit. It is spooky season. So Tiffany's been decorating and putting up all kinds of interesting things.
Jonathan is here. Hi, how are you guys doing?
We are doing great. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. So there has been a lot of stuff. We'll go ahead and get started here before I lose my train of thought. A lot of stuff has gone on since we were on the live last week. We've had some interesting cruise stories. We've had someone sneak a gun on board a Carnival cruise ship, then film themselves, then get themselves banned for cruising for life. Dummies. Dummies for trying to do it. Dummies for doing it, then real dummies for filming it. But like I said in that video, the honest question is, more or less, is how did it even get through security? That is something I hope that they really investigate, they really look into, and really take a look at. That's the biggest issue.
Yeah.
It's the concern is, what are they going to be able to get through security in the future? And remember, security does not work for the cruise lines. They work for the port. They're hired by the port. So
just Cody's here. I love candy corn. Me too. Me too.
Either you love it or you hate it. Candy corn is one of those ones. It has its fans.
It's kind of like black licorice. I can't stand black licorice, but my sister loves it.
Yeah, it's another one of those ones. I can tolerate some candy corn, but
Ray's here. Hi from Nag's Head. Love the change. Or orange t-shirt. Sorry, I'm really having a hard time with my glasses.
Yes, we were in Halloween mode. We got to get ready. Maybe we can talk Tiffany into wearing her costume on one of these lives.
Maybe.
She does have a costume.
Attila the Fun says, hi, y'all. And just Cody, I hope y'all are having a great week so far. We're having an awesome week. The weather has changed. We've had the house open all day. So, yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah, high of 77 degrees today. For Texas, that's really good. It was in the 90s yesterday. And tomorrow morning,
we had record highs yesterday.
Yeah, we had record high yesterday, 77 today. And they say tomorrow morning, 51 degrees. In Texas, that's a really big deal because you're going to have one or two responses in Texas. It's one or two. Either going to be like me and you're going to be just standing out in the front porch with as little clothes as possible, enough that I don't get arrested, but as little clothes as possible, soaking in the cool weather. And then you will see someone walking around with a full jacket, scarf, and a beanie on in 51-degree weather.
I saw people buying heaters today.
And people were in there buying heaters already. In Texas, it's one or two responses. But I'm really looking forward to that temperature. The poor air conditioner is happy to finally get its break.
Yes. Sheikah says hello at Chris and Tiffany. Cute shirts. Attila says candy corn. Yes. Just love the orange and yellow going on there. Attila says pup alert. So cute. Texas Cruiser. Good evening, folks. And Nelly. Sorry. Me too. The windows are open, but here in Temple, it was 90 something yesterday, and today gets cold.
Yeah, I know. It's so nice. Now, Ray, I know you, we haven't talked to Ray in a little while. Ray is up there in North Carolina, up in Nag's Head. Hopefully, because I know we haven't talked to you, Ray, since the storm went through that area. Hopefully that didn't affect Ray. I'd be curious to know, Ray, how are you doing? How are you guys doing up there? Were you guys affected by that storm at all? You were in our thoughts. We were thinking about you while all that was going on. Now for Texas Cruiser for Rick, if you guys haven't seen it, Rick was out on Harmony of the Seas during Hurricane Milton. He got a little bit of a bumpy ride. He got some missed cruise ports, but he does have a video over on his channel, YouTube channel, the Texas Cruiser, that highlights and shows his experience on board Harmony of the Seas. If you guys haven't seen it, go over and take a look at it. You get a first-hand perspective of sailing during a hurricane or around a hurricane.
So Nellie says, Rick, I thought about you whilst you had that cruise and how rough the sea was. Ray says, we've had the windows open the last few days getting the fresh air. Bob is joining us. Hi, y'all. New to the fun. Welcome.
Welcome. Definitely. We are always welcome to have new folks hop in and join our cruising community. We got some really good people here.
Ray says, no, we got through pretty well. That is awesome to hear.
Yeah, awesome to hear. Like I said, we were concerned since we hadn't heard from you since then. We wanted to make sure you were good. Because, our daughter's up there in Jacksonville in North Carolina, and it missed her altogether. So
Connie's here. Ahoy, mateys. And Texas Cruiser. Thank you, Chris.
No problem. And Connie, thank you for those pictures from your cruise on board with Celebrity Cruise Lines. Awesome for posting those over on Facebook. They were really cool. It was awesome how calm.
Crystal clear. I mean,
it's like a piece of glass is how that water was. So we do really, really appreciate those pictures and encourage everybody. Look, if you want to share pictures on Facebook or if you want them shared on YouTube, you send them to me. We are always happy to share that kind of stuff. Happy to see it over there. The Texas Cruiser posts his articles and links over on our Facebook page to his channel. That kind of stuff is absolutely welcome.
Yes.
So
James is here. Hello,
continue,
Chris.
please.
Hello, Chris, Tiffany, and Cruisers and Texas Cruiser. The seas were rough, but the cruise was still great. We had a great time. Anytime you're on a cruise.
Yeah, anytime on a cruise is a great cruise. I will give it that.
You did remember to leave me that drink voucher, right? I think that's a Texas Cruiser.
Yeah, that is over
Left
there.
it in the safe, right?
I can't read what I wrote.
So you're making fun of me.
I'm going to have to put on my glasses here for a minute while Tiffany is reading the comments just so I could. Okay, we just talked about that. Okay. So back to other things that happened this week. I did a video on all of the birds that got on board the Carnival cruise ship. That was just a wild story. The video I showed, there must have been hundreds of birds in that. Can you imagine going into your cabin and there's just birds everywhere?
Yeah, shouldn't have left the balcony door open.
Well, I don't think they left the balcony door open. I think they opened the balcony door and the birds came in.
Yeah, they were just trying to get away from the hurricane.
They were just trying to get away from the hurricane. And yeah, cruise passengers are freaking out. Oh, there's birds everywhere. Birds are flying. Birds are landing on the deck. Get some birds were dying on the Lido deck and things like that. I get why cruise passengers would be weirded out by that, but you know who I really feel bad for?
The crew.
The poor crew. Because if there's 100 birds in that cabin flying around, one of them crapped. Right? There's bird crap inside that ship. And now the crew has to clean it up. That's who I would feel bad for. Because on top of all of the stuff they already have to do, now they got to clean up bird crap.
Yep. Texas Cruiser says, oops, I knew I forgot something. And Lenny is joining us. Hello from Geneva and Lenny. Nellie's laughing.
Now, what I thought was a really big story, Royal Caribbean. Boy, they are...
I don't know.
Royal Caribbean's been up to a lot. Royal Caribbean has had a lot of announcements this week. A lot of expanding coming out of Royal Caribbean. They just announced Perfect Day in Mexico, in which they have purchased Costa Maya Cruise Pier. And that's where they're going to be building Perfect Day in Mexico. It is going to be for Royal Caribbean passengers on board the ship. How much that is really going to affect Costa Mile, that's what we're kind of waiting to see. There's been some different views on that. That the actual port there of Costa Mile, remember, Costa Mile is not a place, it is a purpose-built cruise port for cruise ships. It was built to have another place to go in the Western Caribbean. That was its sole purpose, which is why it's kind of self-contained. You know, it has the dolphins and the birds and all the shops and the restaurants all in one spot, places to swim, pools, is because it's designed to be a self-contained cruise port. So how much of that Royal Caribbean actually owns is going to be the question, and what changes are they going to make going forward? And I'm sure Royal Caribbean is going to release more information. Other cruise lines and other cruise ships are going to be able to go there. But this is just something else for Royal Caribbean. I mean, we already have the Beach Club in Nassau, Bahamas. Royal Caribbean's got the Beach Club coming in Cozumel, Mexico. They've talked about putting another private island in the South Pacific. They've announced Perfect Day in Mexico. And today, Royal Caribbean has announced they are building their own, own cruise port in Juneau, Alaska. So it's going to be, I believe it's on Douglas Island, which is west of downtown Juneau, but they're going to be putting their own purposely built cruise port in Juneau, Alaska. Royal Caribbean is spreading.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's a little smart of Royal Caribbean to do this. They are guaranteeing that their places are going to have ships to go to, or places for their ships to go. Because look, if they own the pier at Costa Mile, they control it. So if they want to send 3 ships there, then they can tell the other cruise lines, we've got 3 ships there. There's one spot, because Costa Mile holds 4. If they build their own port in Juneau, Alaska, they're not fighting for the other 3 in Juneau, Alaska. They don't have to arrange with the others or bid or compete against the others if they have their very own cruise ports. Mm-hmm. Kind of smart on Royal Caribbean. I'm waiting to see what else they're going to come up with.
Yeah. Texas Cruiser says Harmony is one of the largest cruise ships in the world, but it still can get tossed around. Ray says going out with the snow shovel and cleaning up the birds. Aliens here. Howdy, Chris and Tiffany from this guy. Texas Cruiser Perfect Day Mexico is going to be huge for Galveston. Icon and Allure will be sailing to the Western Caribbean from Galveston. Natalie says other lines should be able to use the current facilities and not Perfect Day.
That's kind of what we're thinking is going to happen, provided Royal Caribbean doesn't make any changes. I know that the water park you see behind Costa Mile, when you pull in the Mayan water park, they purchased that. They're going to be replacing that. I'm not exactly sure what all changes we're going to see to Costa Mile before it's over.
Yeah. Other lines should be able to use the current facilities and not Perfect Day. They bought the shops and the water park area behind it too.
Right. So how much of that are they going to, I know we already know that other cruise lines are not getting Perfect Day at Mexico at all. They're going to have zero access to that. But how much of what exists is going to become part of that? It determines how enjoyable it's going to be for other cruise passengers.
Attila says it's going to be a real deal for Royal. And then Nellie says they bought it all, yet they raised gratuities 50 cents. Ha ha, joking.
They got to pay for it.
Lenny says, hello, son. Texas Cruiser Royal is bigger and stronger since before COVID.
Oh, yeah. Royal is on a roll with some of the stuff they're putting out there. We're going to be talking more here in the next couple of days about their new options up in Alaska, their new cruise port going in up there. So Royal Caribbean's on a move. I think that they are currently playing 2-3 steps ahead. As cruise ports, decide they don't want some of these ships, they don't want as many passengers, things like that. Royal Caribbean is stacking the deck in their favor now.
Yeah. Texas Cruiser says Royal said other cruise lines could dock there, but they won't have access to Perfect Day Mexico. There will be a transportation hub that their passengers can use to go to their excursions.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I put out. But what I'm curious about is there going to be anything in between the lines? I guess that's kind of what I'm looking to see. Because the way that kind of reads to me is other cruise lines will get off the ship, walk down the dock, and get on a bus. And there'll be nothing in between. is kind of the way that reads. I'm hoping that's not the case for them. I'm hoping that what's Costa Maya now, the shops. I mean, because in Costa Maya, they've got that little taco place that's back along towards the backside of it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to go to that taco place no matter what cruise line I'm on.
Yeah.
So.
That and they have a good little coffee shop in there. Jeff says, will the gratuities that they raised are supposed to go to like cruise ship workers?
They do. They do go to cruise ship workers. My paying for things with gratuities is purely a joke. All of the cruise lines swear that 100% of the gratuities go to the workers on board the ships. So, and I have no evidence to the contrary.
Yeah. Phyllis says, maybe a couple of shops, that's it.
Yeah, so we'll see what Royal Caribbean does with that.
Yeah.
Now, that will, of course, affect cruises out of Galveston because almost all the cruises out of Galveston are Western Caribbean cruises. So that's a big boost there. But Galveston has now also signed a 10-year deal with Norwegian Cruise Lines. So over at Terminal 16, which is the new pier they are building for when MSC comes in November of 2025, is now going to be shared by Norwegian Cruise Lines. And we are going to permanently be getting the Prima and the Viva from Norwegian year-round sailing.
Mm-hmm.
So we all know Norwegian does seasonal sailings right now out of Galveston. They've been doing it for a couple of years, but they are going to permanently put 2 ships in Galveston. Big plus for Galveston there. And they hinted that this could also mean we could see Oceania and we could see Regent 7 Seas, which are also owned by Norwegian Cruise Lines. So we could see quite an influx into Galveston.
I missed one by Attila. Get on the bus. That's what I think for all other lines. Ray says these islands seem to be the destination and not the islands. Alien says hi, Dad. Shika, I really don't cruise RCL, so not crazy about the new water park. Bob says hoping some of the shops remain. Me too.
Yeah.
Ray says how many ships can Texas port take?
So Galveston can take, currently they have 3 operational terminals, a 4th terminal opening in November of 2025. So they can have 4 cruise ships in per day. With them rotating out, God, I'd have to count the number of ships that we got in there now that rotate in and out, but we can take quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
And Galveston's not done growing.
No.
I saw an interesting story now. P&O Cruise Lines, on one of their world cruises, and I got to research it because I missed exactly, I want to say it's like the Arcadia or one of the P&O cruise ships that's doing world cruises and things like that, and is going to be making a stop here in the future in Galveston, Texas. It's going to be one of their port stops. So the ship won't not be taking passengers on and off, embarking and disembarking. It's simply going to be letting people off for their excursions like you would any other port stop. But coming up, we are going to see a P&O cruise ship docked in Galveston. And for me, that's worth just going down just to see a P&O cruise ship sailing out of Galveston.
I want to go see if we can find some tourists to talk.
Tiffany wants to go talk and see. We got to figure, if it's P&O, a lot of P&O's world cruises start and stop in Southampton. So chances are you are going to have less Americans on board that particular cruise than you would cruises that arrive and depart from the United States. Mm-hmm. Could be a good opportunity to hang out in Galveston that day and have conversations with people from across the pond.
Yes.
There's going to be a lot of British accents, more than likely, maybe some French accents hanging out in Galveston that day. It's going to be a cool day.
Yes.
You know?
Shika at Ray says, I agree with you. Now it will be more about the private islands. And then Attila says, that's wild. Texas Cruiser says, Port Director Roger Rees has said he wants the cruise lines use Galveston as a port of call along with being a home port. It's a British invasion. I love it.
One if by land, 2 if by sea. This one's coming by sea.
Yeah.
But just to be down in Galveston, and And I'm telling you, as soon as I figure out what day that ship is going to be there, I intend to be there that day. I want to film a P&O cruise ship departing Galveston. I want to interact with some of the passengers that are going to be on board that ship. I simply think that would be a very fun day.
And it's a good reason to go to the candy shop.
And Tiffany says it's a good reason to go to the candy shop. So, but yeah, so Galveston continues to grow.
Yeah.
Royal Caribbean continues to grow. It's looking good out there. Oh, let's see. What else do I have on here? Okay. Oh, what else did we have this week? Carnival Vista had a little propulsion problem again this week. Small one this time. Didn't have to take the ship out of service, but she was late arriving back in port. Late embarkation for the next sailing. Was delayed for about 10 hours while they repaired the propulsion issue, and she headed back out to sea. Now, she is currently sailing. She is not having a propulsion problem. She is traveling at speed, and there were no itinerary changes. Carnival said this problem had nothing to do with the problem last month. And I'm sure it had nothing to do with the problem last year or the year before, any of that. I still think that the Vistas got gremlins. I think that's...
Or Casper's.
I think it's gremlins, to be honest with you. It is... poor Vista. I hope whatever is going on with that ship, they get it sorted. For the cruise passengers on board, you can only change itinerary so many times. You can only have a propulsion problem so many times and then come back and go, hey, we fixed it. And then you have it again.
Yeah. Texas Cruiser says there are murmurs of possibly a fifth terminal.
I would say, with having no forehand knowledge on that whatsoever, that Galveston would be like, Galveston wants to become one of the absolute premier cruise home ports worldwide. They want it. They feel it. They desire it. They plan for it. And yeah, I would not surprise me if something like that was to happen.
James says Galveston sure is growing. It's what's nice is with all the new cruise lines and ships should lead to longer itineraries,
which we are already starting to see. Look at some of the itineraries. Granted, they are Journeys cruises and they are longer cruises. You can't get to some of the Eastern Caribbean spots without them being 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-day cruises. But if you look, they are there.
Nellie said Vista is not allowed to be part of the group cruise.
The Vista has been taken off of the group cruise list, not because of her engine problems, but there's no need to tempt the fates. We'll pick one. We have picked one that at least is not broken down yet.
Yes. Attila says, oh man, that would change the game if we had 5 or maybe more even.
Well, I'm just trying to think. I mean, it's definitely an opportunity for more cruise ships to come in, for multiple ships from the same cruise line to be in all at the same time. God knows what we could get at that particular point.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the businesses down in Galveston, they're loving it.
Oh, yeah.
The hotels are making money year round. There's not really an off season in the wintertime because the cruise ships sail year round. They're sailing full, which means the hotels are having guests booked year round. Restaurants are feeding people year round.
Mm-hmm.
Stores. It's good business for Galveston.
Ray says the ship has a gremlin and they have to chase it down.
They need to make it walk the plank.
Bob says coming up next month, Royal will have 3 Carnival, 3 Disney, 1 Princess, and 1 Norwegian.
Three Disney. I know the Disney Wonder's coming.
Maybe I read that wrong. Just maybe. I don't know. Carnival.
Oh,
Royal,
yeah. It's Disney.
Yeah. Carnival, Royal, and NCL are scheduling longer cruises up to 16 days.
Mm-hmm. There are some good cruises if you've got the time to take them coming up out of Galveston. Galveston, like I said, year after year it grows. Their offerings are becoming more and more impressive. It's going to be a long, long time before we have to ever stop sailing from Galveston to get something different.
Yeah. Nellie says we need a parking garage at the RC terminal. The small covered parking is always booked.
Yeah, there will be a parking garage at the Terminal 16. That one for sure is getting one. I know that.
Haven't even talked about Celebrity or Virgin can come next to Galveston, or maybe another ultra luxury ship.
I keep wondering if we're ever going to see a celebrity ship. I hope we do. They've got enough of them. They sail around enough of them that it would be nice to see one come and visit. Even if it's just seasonally. Maybe they rotate one of them out of Alaska and we get a little seasonal action from Celebrity. That would be really cool because, of course, they can already share Royal Caribbean's facilities, being a sister company like that. So it's possible. It's feasible. Just got to get them to kind of coax them down here. And boy, I would be ecstatic if we got a Virgin Voyages cruise out of Texas. I'd be utterly ecstatic. I've wanted to try Virgin for a while. And if they were to come right down the street for us, we would have to be on that ship just to try Virgin Voyages.
Texas Cruiser, when NCL bring in Prima and Viva for year-round sailing starting November 25, they have some really nice 14-day itineraries.
I did see some on the Prima. I haven't really looked at the Vivas, though.
James says, I like to take a 10 to 12-day cruise, be just down my alley. Attila says they have Royal Terminals already. James says, or 14 days be fine too. Attila says, need Princess to be here full time, or bring the Sun Princess part-time, be nice too.
That's true. Princess would need to be full-time. That would be nice since the Regal Princess leaves.
Mm-hmm.
She goes and does her European sailings before she comes back.
Texas Cruiser says it's going to be nice to have either Prima or Viva based here in Galveston year-round for a few years. They officially signed the agreement today for the next 10-plus years.
Yep. So we have those kinds of wonderful and awesome changes coming in. And it's good to hear. It's good news. You know, a lot of times, you know, you hear about Miami and Port Canaveral. Of course, they're always growing and always getting new ships and things like that. Galveston's going to continue to grow, and it's going to be on a much more level playing field. Cruise lines are going to see that it is profitable to sail out of Galveston. Their ships are being filled, and they're going to send newer ships over here.
Nellie says, I wonder if with all the changes with Galveston, if Princess decides to stay full-time.
It'd be nice. It would be nice. I haven't heard anything yet. But that would definitely be nice, and I would definitely say they would be welcome.
Yeah.
I like Princess. You like Princess.
I like Princess.
I like them all. Let's be honest. I like them all.
Yeah, you do.
So, and that is the cruise news. The only other story we had, of course, we talked about today was the mother and son combo who decided to apparently assault an older senior citizen cruise passenger on board an MSC cruise ship. And but for the life of me, I can't figure out why they would make two people do that. Hope they get a lifetime ban. I mean, I know they kicked the son off, not the mom. Kind of weird. Because they both struck the senior. But they put the son off, and then the mom got arrested when the cruise ship docked back in the United States. So
Chica says, for us in the West Coast, it is easier to get to Galveston. James says, I would do the Sun Princess cruise. Have heard good reports on her.
I have too. I've seen some good stuff on the Sun Princess. And I can lie, if she rolls close to home, we'll jump right on that.
Nellie says they say the son hit the woman multiple times.
Yeah, the mom slapped her, and then the son struck her multiple times, hit her multiple times. But, I mean, one hit versus multiple hits, to me, they both should have been booted right off of that ship at the time of that incident. As soon as it hit Falmouth, Jamaica, they both should have been booted off. So, but that's my opinion. Personally, I think the cruise lines don't do enough to promote the actions they take against some of these cruise passengers. You know, a lot of newspapers have police blotters, which talks about the crimes they had and they solved and things like that. I honestly think cruise lines should do something like that as a deterrent. You know, hey, this last week we kicked off 4 people. This is what they did. Don't be one of these people.
Yeah.
You get caught, you're gone. They say it. They put it in the rules. It's in the cruise contract. But when they physically do it, they kind of keep it quiet. They don't release the details. Kind of makes people go, are they really going to do it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, advertise that stuff.
Attila says that was bad, beating an older lady.
Yeah.
Texas Cruiser says Royal and Turku Shipyard.
Yeah, they laid the new keel for the third icon.
Yeah. Attila says jail for them, I hope.
I hope so too.
Ray says Texas seems to be forgotten as a port, but coming into its own.
Mm-hmm.
Sheikah says, I am glad she was arrested. Attila said not just banned from MSC.
No, it would be nice too if the cruise lines did a no-fly list. Just like you can get on a no-fly list, you can end up on a no-cruise list. And I think they should share the bad behavior that they punish. I think it should be a deterrent for others.
Yep.
That, hey, they did this. This was their exact punishment. They are never, ever getting on a ship again because they've been added to the list. Put it out there. Make it real obvious to people that you do this kind of stuff, you're going to pay the price. Here's the proof.
James says, I'm with you, Chris. Why kick him off and not her as well? She was involved too. Nellie says, I hope all lines have a database that have a list of banned passengers. Connie, that's nuts. Violence should result in a lifetime ban for all cruise lines. And Jonathan says, agree, no cruise.
Right. Because you think about it. In the big scheme of cruising, you have hundreds of cruise ships that sail every day, thousands of passengers on board. They come from all different kinds of backgrounds. That's just the passengers. Your crew comes from all around the world. The majority, we're talking 99.9% of all these cruise passengers get on board their cruise ships. They get along just fine. They meet new people. Where are you from? Where are you from? They share stories. They swap. You meet lifetime friends that don't live near each other and don't come from a common background. That is one of the awesome things about cruising. But there is one bad apple in the barrel, and it starts to screw it up for everybody else. And as cruisers, yeah, I think it should be common knowledge that we threw the bad apple in the trash.
Yes. Attila says that and the Pew Pew lady, ban her on all lines. It's a safety issue for all ships.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But you know, it's not always those that, I guess, commit acts of violence or rule breaking or violating the code of conduct. My personal favorite today was Carnival Cruise Lines, and I'll be sharing a picture of it later on during the week, has released their new VIP gift. John Hill released a picture of it today, and it is a baseball hat. From some of the comments that people wrote in, I swear to God, they think it should have been a damn gold bar. Somebody actually wrote to Carnival Cruise Line, the brand ambassador, John Hill, and said, because it was a baseball hat, he could stick it up his backside. Over a free gift. Free.
I'm kind of like you, though. Do you book your cruise going, okay, I can book Princess, but this is the free gift, or I can book Carnival because, I get a free hat.
I've never even considered booking a cruise over what free gift I might get. Of course, we get excited over the dumbest things that cruise lines give us.
We got so excited over a bottle of free water.
Free water bottle? This is free? Yeah, well, yay! When we went on Carnival Vista for the 50th birthday sailing they did, they gave us pins that said 50th birthday sailing on it. Little bitty, pins, nothing. Boy, we were so happy to get those. And so look what they got us. Mm-hmm. Look what they give us. Free. What happened to the joy of just getting a gift for free?
Yeah.
Why is it an issue? Why is it a problem? But the number of negative complaints over a hat, and it's simple.
Don't take it.
You don't have to take the hat. You don't have to wear the hat. You can give it away. You can not pick it up. You can just be happy you're out on a cruise, because if enough people keep it up, eventually the cruise line will say, screw you guys, I'm going home. And you get no gift.
Yep. Nellie says, I second the pew pew lady, but I am more shocked that a pew pew found its way on and security at port didn't get it. Wow. James says, totally agree, Nellie. How did she get that on the ship unnoticed?
Yeah, that's where the investigation needs to be, is how the heck did it ever get there?
Jonathan says, I read that over a hat. They should be on a no cruise list as well. I just don't understand
the attitude.
Well, that, and do you really think you're going to make that big of a difference by name calling? Because,
well, who's going to listen once you start name calling?
That you might as well just walk the other direction, because you've done been turned off.
Yeah, if any comment or conversation that starts off with name calling, you're a this, you're a that, stick it up your this or that, nobody's willing to listen at that point. You shut them off, you tune them out, and their opinion no longer matters. Bottom line, I'm perfectly good with a difference of opinion. I'm perfectly fine if someone comes on and says, I like this gift better than I like this one. Mm-hmm. Baseball cap, not my favorite. There's no name calling. But, and over a hat, and free hat, mind you.
Attila said, wait, here's the plan. I like this plan. Keep the hat. It's great. Wear it in the MDR every night and drive the no hat nerds wild with rage.
My God.
Make sure you're wearing your jammies too.
Pajama cake all over again. Oh my Lord.
I'm sorry. James says the first thing I check is the drink package. Don't care about the free stuff.
Right. Who cares about the free stuff? If you go and they give you something for free, then they gave you something for free. It's cool.
Yeah.
You look at it for exactly what it is. It's free gift. And I'll be 100% honest. The cruise line has given us some silly free gifts over the years. We have them all. Mm-hmm. We've kept them all. Why? Because they gave it to us and it said the cruise line on it. And we weren't expecting it and didn't know we were going to get it. And then, yay, it's fun. And if you look at it that way, God, it makes it so enjoyable.
Yeah. Nellie says exactly. In argument and someone curses, the argument is over in my eyes.
Exactly. But I do agree. I say everybody who gets that hat should go wear it in the MDR.
Yep.
You will see heads pop from shoulders.
Because they're wearing a hat.
Yeah.
Nellie says, if you don't want the free gift, pass it by. Wasn't the last gift a basic little bag? So what's the difference with the hat? Nothing.
And let's be 100% honest. You get the hat because you have to go pick it up at Pixels. You look at it and go, I really don't have a use for this hat. I got it, but I don't have a use for it. How about if a kid runs by? Would you like this hat for free? Here you go.
Have a Pixie.
That's Disney, but there you go. Give it to somebody else. Believe me, there's somebody on that ship, a blue card who doesn't earn the free gift yet, who would be like, what? I get a free hat?
Yeah.
And they will run off and you will have made their cruise by giving them a hat.
Yep. Ray says, PJ Gate, I'm loving it. Texas says, thank you, Tiffany, for the restaurant recommendation of Al Chili. It was awesome. Great Ritas and guacamole. Now the big question.
Did Roberto serve you?
Yes.
Did you ask for Roberto?
Even if you didn't, it's still great food.
Yeah, it's still a great place to eat. Do like that place, and the drinks there are nice and they are supersized.
And you're welcome for the recommendation. I highly recommend it to anybody and everybody that goes to Cozumel.
But yeah, so that was the fun story of the day. And it's always something. And I swear it's got to be the same people. They don't like the hat, but don't wear it in the MDR. Somebody's wearing jeans, and it's a question that no one has ever been able to actually answer for me yet. If you go in the main dining room and you look over, and there is an individual wearing a pair of jeans, and let's say a veteran's hat, because that seems to be the one that pisses them off the most, and you see that person in the MDR, right? How does that make your dinner taste different? How can you simply not avert your eyes and look at something else? Okay. How does it ruin your dinner, ruin the experience? And of course, everybody I asked in the dining room agreed with me. We were at a table for two, but I asked everybody at our table. And I was solo cruising. So I asked myself.
Texas Cruiser said Roberta waited on him.
Oh,
that's awesome. I love it. James says, yes, wear PJs on the group cruise.
Well, and we're going to talk about the group cruise here next because it is going to be during Halloween, and we are going to encourage folks to participate in Halloween if they wish. But on the night of the big Halloween party, I encourage everybody to wear their costumes in the main dining room and just watch the heads pop off. Because just as many complaints as there were for PJ Gate last year, hats in the MDR, there are already people out there complaining, are you going to allow costumes in the main dining room? That's bullshit. So I'm a firm believer that every damn person on the ship ought to wear one in there.
Jonathan says not wanting the hat and calling someone a bad name is what every cruiser wants. Attila the Fun says, and fuzzy slippers.
Ooh, as long as your toes are covered.
Yes.
Okay. Because if your toes are out, then my dinner's ruined. Can't eat there anymore, and I'm calling the waiter, and then I'm writing a dirty comment. And I will say, I am platinum. I asked everybody. I have neither of those things. And and I want a free cruise, $250 compensation, a free steakhouse dinner, 2 massages, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Jeff says they need to have a no cruise list like they do a no-fly list.
They really, really do. All right, but we've talked enough about those naysayers out there. Just go on a cruise, enjoy your cruise. If you get something extra, you get something extra. Wow, you know?
Yeah.
Let it be a damn surprise.
Jeff says, the only one problem that I do see with the no cruise list would be a female who gets married or changes her last name. How are you going to know? How do they know on the list?
I would assume that if the cruise lines had that, would it have to go through like customs? And if it goes through customs, I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think customs knows all, sees all. Or they're supposed to. I would think. I'm not 100% sure on that, though.
Sheikah says, I'm cooking dinner and missing the conversation.
We're talking smack about wearing hats in dining rooms.
With jammies.
With jammies and Halloween costumes and fuzzy slippers.
Yes.
We're all going to dress up as Fun Ship Freddy. Tiffany's now wondering who I'm talking about. Aren't you? Do you not know who Fun Ship Freddy is?
Forgot.
Fun Ship Freddy was Carnival's mascot.
Is the elephant?
No.
I think we have a picture with him somewhere.
No. Fun Ship Freddy was retired before we ever went on our first Carnival cruise. His head is a funnel. And he has the craziest look on his face. Apparently he was scared of children. If you see a picture of Fun Ship Freddy,
that's why they got rid of him.
You can kind of see it. I can see where old Freddy might have made some folks uncomfortable. But yeah, at one time Carnival did have their actual mascot of Fun Ship Freddy. All right, let's talk about the group cruise.
Freddy is kind of creepy looking.
Told you, Fun Ship Freddy. He had his own thing going on there. I think that there's some understanding of why old Fun Ship Freddy was retired when he was retired.
Nellie says I had to Google.
I thought Tiffany to Google some Fun Ship Freddy there. But there really was a mascot called Fun Ship Freddy. Of course, I also used to skeet shoot off the back of the ship too.
He looks like the Domino's mascot from back in the day.
Yeah. Tiffany's going to Google herself some Fun Ship Freddy. So while we Google some Fun Ship Freddy, let's jump over to group cruise information. I think we've got it. I think we found it. I think this is what we're going to go with. So I'm going to go ahead and let me find it here real quick. I do have the slide on it here and kind of see what everybody thinks about it. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, there it is.
Oh, God.
She found Fun Ship Freddy. We'll have to post a picture of Fun Ship Freddy here in the future.
I don't know if they can see
it. No, we're up on that one over there. But yeah, hold that one up right there. All right. So the 2026 group cruise, Carnival Magic, sailing October the 3rd of 2026, 8-9 Eastern Caribbean cruise, sailing from Miami, Florida. Half Moon Key. Now, this is going to be in 2026. By this time, Half Moon Key will have a dock. It will not be a tender port, but we got Half Moon Key, a sea day, San Juan, Puerto Rico, St. Martin, St. Thomas, and then back to Miami, Florida. I think this one right here covers all of the bases that when we originally first started talking about a group cruise, I think this is it. We are talking about Carnival Cruise Lines. We are doing the Caribbean. We are hitting some Eastern Caribbean ports, some good ones, I think, with San Juan, St. Martin, and St. Thomas alone. Half Moon is a beautiful, awesome place. Will be 100 times better with a dock. And we're sailing out of Florida. So that is what we have here so far. Let me put myself back up in here now. Oh, I know what I got to do. I got to turn the overlay off. All right, so that is where we currently have with the group cruise. So it's going to be a matter, what does everybody think about that particular itinerary? October the 3rd puts it in Halloween, so we get to do all of the Halloween fun stuff for those who want to participate. Tiffany and I will be participating. Because why not take the opportunity to dress silly on a cruise ship and go eat in the main dining room, wearing our carnival hats, our costumes, and fuzzy slippers, and see how many platinum people we can make pass out right there on the floor out of anger from holding their breath.
Texas Cruiser says, love St. Thomas and St. Martin. Connie says he was a smokestack whale tail. Ray said, that sounds great to Judy and me. Let's go cruising. So I don't know if you want to try and put that.
Oh, Tiffany wants to see if I can, just in case anybody, I don't know how well he's going to glare there, but there is Fun Ship Freddy. I mean, look at that guy's face. And so I'm sure you guys can see that's little kids apparently were a little scared of good old Fun Ship Freddy.
Sheikah says, great itinerary.
So that is what we're going to look at for right now. Now, I'm going to throw this back up here again because it does have some additional information on this. All right, so over here in the bottom left-hand corner, if you are interested in going on the group cruise and booking as a group, okay, not a requirement, but I do recommend it. Those that are booked into the group will hopefully get some better deals and some extra perks from Carnival. But I need to know numbers of people. So if you send me an email to the email address, letting me know the names and the cabin type you're looking for. We need to get at least 8 cabins to open up a group. So I'm hoping I've got one so far. I've gotten one from Alien. I do have yours already. I have Tiffany and I, but if you are interested in doing it, send it to that send that information over there. This is not the booking yet, a deposit, anything like that. This is just, hey, this is me. I'm looking for a balcony cabin, an ocean view, an inside, or a suite. Now I'm going to show you guys the pricing here real quick. Now, keep in mind with these prices, these are pre-group prices. Okay, the prices can change and fluctuate as we book a cruise. The more cabins we book, the better deal we can end up with, depending on what's going on. But these right here are the basis. This is port fees and taxes included per person. So $749 for an inside, $939 outside, $1109 for a balcony, and $1961 starting for a suite. And like I said, these are just baseline prices. It is our goal to make these go down prior to actual booking. All right, so let me hide all of that. All right, so that is where we are for the group cruise.
Jonathan says, already booked the same itinerary and ship for February of 27. James says, I do like it. Love the Eastern Caribbean. St. Thomas, San Juan, and St. Martin are favorites.
Yeah, so hopefully our goal now is if we got enough people that are interested in booking into a group, I am going to be reaching out to Carnival Cruise Lines here in the next week and getting actual group booking set up. So if you do want to be a part of that group, definitely give me the information, and so I can send you actual factual emails, pricing for your cabin and your cabin type as that stuff comes available if you haven't already done so. Now, if you want to book on your own and do your own thing, hey, of course, we'll still be happy to have everybody on board the cruise ship. So, but that is where we are on the group cruise after months and months and months of waiting for those itineraries to come out. I think that's going to work out perfect. I think the Carnival magic is going to work out perfectly for us.
What was the email again, Chris?
I'm going to throw it up here again for you, James, just so you can have it. There we go. It'll be in the bottom left-hand side. It is highseasadventures@gmail.com.
All one word.
Yeah, all one word. And James, you have multiple ways to get a hold of me. Feel free to use any of them. You can text it to me if you feel like it. That's fine. And things like that. But yeah, there it is in the bottom. High Seas Adventures, all one word, gmail.com will be where you send all of that information to. And that email address, of course, is on our YouTube channel and everything like that. If you want, you can send me private messages through Facebook. If you're part of our Facebook group, however you guys want to reach out, it works for us. Like I said, we're just trying to get some numbers and some information in there so we can actually get this started. Because the way itineraries and cruise ships have sold out for 2024 and already into 2025, the earlier we can get it, the better chance we have of getting everything we want up front.
Jonathan says, like it, we'll have to consider with wife. Definitely.
That's it. Anybody that wants to be a part of it is absolutely welcome. Anybody who can't be a part of it, we understand. Not everybody can cruise every single time.
Hopefully
this will not be, hopefully, our one and only group cruise. We will hopefully, if this is successful, and if my head doesn't pop off in all of this, from trying to make sure all of this is right, because I'm going to tell you guys up front now, I'll also be honest, I have backup, I have support, I have people helping me in the background. Because this is my first group cruise I've ever done, and so I'm a little nervous.
He's been stressing for 2 months.
And I'm going to admit I'm a little bit nervous, not because I think I'm going to screw it up, because my biggest fear is screwing up somebody else's vacation. So believe me, the meticulous attention to detail is hyper focused on this. And once we get through the first one, we'll go from there.
Yeah.
But that is going to be the group cruise. I think that offers a little bit for everybody. No tender ports, big, huge plus. The Magic, she's a good mid-sized Carnival ship. She's got the Carnival stuff on it that most people want, most people expect, but she's not overly large. She's not overly small. And I particularly happen to enjoy that class of ship. Carnival Breeze, Carnival Dream, Carnival Magic. I think she's a good layout. She's got a good feel to her. She has a non-smoking casino. If that's an issue for anybody, she has a regular casino, a non-smoking casino. Of course, she's got a Guy's Burgers, a Blue Iguana, pizza, Blue Java coffee, all of the bells and whistles.
Chica says you won't mess up someone's vacation. And Attila says, love that itinerary. Haven't told wife yet. The less she knows, the better. I think that's how it goes. Or am I in hot water already? You know what? Just tell her where to be and what to pack and surprise her.
Tiffany actually likes it when I do it that way. I just tell her, take these days off from work. We're going. She's like, okay. She just takes them off. Yeah, half the time she has no idea where we're going.
No.
And she's content with that. So yeah, I would just go with that.
Yeah.
As long as you get to go, you're good.
As long as I'm going, just tell me when to be there.
And what appropriate clothes to wear.
Yeah.
Summer, winter, not what she wears. Boy, that could have sounded misconstrued there. Warm weather, cold weather.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. So hopefully that works out for everybody. It gives us enough, and that puts us just a little under 2 years till we sail, which means as soon as we get the group cruise pricing done, we start the booking process. We put down deposits that will give a large amount of time for everybody to reach final payment due date as well.
Yeah.
Which is a plus.
Attila says she'll ask me if it's free. Maybe.
Look, if you book a cruise 2 years in advance, you put down your deposit, and let's say you take a year to pay it off, and it's another year before you cruise, that is like free.
Yep.
Just go with that.
James says, hey, I will have to give you some practice in booking a cruise as I am looking for something in April since I am back to work. Congratulations on being back to work.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I'm sure you're ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting at home is, it's not as enjoyable as some people make it out to be. If you've worked your entire life and then suddenly you're stuck in the house, that can drive you stir crazy. It drove me absolutely stir crazy.
Oh, I know.
I know you know. But I think we are going to get ready to wrap it up here for tonight. I think we've covered a little bit of everything. Like I said, shoot me those emails. Let me know what you're interested in. Names, and include in there if you don't, your screen name. If it's different than what I know US.
Yeah. James says,
that way I can associate.
Yeah.
Who I'm talking to
with names.
Yeah, with names.
James said he was off for 14 weeks. Good point. I'm trying to book mine for in advance due to that. Says Attila.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, like I said, the further we book it, the longer we have to pay it out, the more options we get, the more choices we get, the better pricing we'll get, and hopefully we'll be able to get some of the best perks out of Carnival.
Yes.
That we can possibly get out of them.
He says, have a great night.
So, but yeah, we are going to hop off here. We will be back here next week. So next Wednesday, 6 p.m., we will be here. I have actually checked the date this time. We are actually good for it. So there will not be any miscommunication like I caused last week.
Nellie said, I will send you a Facebook Messenger message. And Jonathan wants to know, when is the deadline for the group cruise? So right now, it's just, are you interested in what type of cabin you would be interested in? All I'm doing right now is getting an idea of the number of cabins we need. So when I call Carnival, I can block off that number. So if we need at least 8, but if we get 9, 10, 12, 14, I want to be able to tell them I want to block this many off. Doesn't mean you have to book it. Doesn't mean you have to take it. But I would rather have it there and you not take it than for you to want one later and me not be able to get it, if that makes sense.
Once we get into that part, then we will have a hard date when deposits are due. But until we actually get with Carnival and get it set up, we'll have a little bit of playtime with it after that. And when hard dates come, we'll talk about it on the show. Everybody participating will get emails from me, updates, and all that kind of stuff in the background as well. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be on that, but we don't have any hard dates yet. Right now, it's just a matter, hey, are you going to want to go, and what type of cabin are you going to do? And then you join the email chain in the background for updates and information. Hopefully all that made sense.
Bob says, I'm sure John will supply door prizes for all. Laugh out loud.
Poor John. Poor John. John, we are bringing a group. We are very, very large. I will need 48 prizes. One for everybody. Make them chips on a stick. And free steakhouse dinners. We're a group. We're loyal. You should do this for us. I'm not asking please or thank you. And if you don't give it to me, stick it up your butt.
Let's not do that.
Because we're platinum. And hats in the dining room make us mad. Okay.
Anyway.
Hopefully John Heald, if he's even has a clue that we're alive,
is laughing at us.
And one is laughing and gets a kick out of some of the stuff that we say. And two, I will say I have absolutely total respect for the man. The amount of crap he has to take on a day-to-day basis from these buttheads. And he can't just say whatever he wants to say. So I am more than happy to have his back and come on here and tell some of these people that they are complete and utter jerks and to jump off the side of the ship. They deserve not to be there with the rest of us. I will very happily say that. Okay? I can't get in trouble for it. He can. I got his back. He's a hell of a nice guy. As much crap as he puts up with, and the amount of people every day that are like, give me something, give me something, give me something, give me something. And he tries to help everybody he can.
Yeah.
Good God.
Anyway.
What's the worst part? Have you seen a picture of poor John recently?
No.
His hair's all white, everything else. You know he's only 26, right? That's what they did to him. Just a couple years ago, he was 25, color in his hair, was about the size of Arnold Schwarzenegger, bodybuilding. Then he had to become the brand ambassador and answer comments, and now look at the poor man.
James says, good night, all. Have a good rest of the week.
Yeah. All right. We're going to get off here. Otherwise, I'm going to keep talking smack to those poor folks out there who, in my opinion, deserve it. But that's enough of that. But yes, thank you, everybody, for being here. We really, really appreciate it. We will be back next week. I'm looking forward to your emails. Completely lost my train of thought, but we'll keep up with it. And if anything comes up, anything pops off, and once you send me that stuff, I will also email back, and we're going to kind of keep in contact that way, as well as talking about it on the live. If anything specific needs to come out, and it's easier for me to do a video on it, I can also do a group cruise only video and actually send it to just those who are part of the group cruise. So
yes, there's
all kinds of stuff we can do. So, all right, everybody, we're going to get off here. We've kept you long enough. Tiffany's silliness is driving me crazy. So good night, everybody. And like always,
we'll see you out on the high seas.
Good night, everyone.